On cold winter days, do you enjoy making cozy and comforting foods? These are the days that I get to take my time and create new recipes. Homemade fresh bread is one of those comforting foods for us. Welcome to Witch Hollow Homesteading, and today I'm going to show you how to make my sourdough dinner rolls. I will admit, this is one of my favorite recipes so far that I have created, and I make these dinner rolls at least once a week. They're handy to have around, and you can use them in a variety of meals. I fed my starter about 8 hours ago, and it is now active. I will admit, I have also used sourdough discard for this recipe, and it has also worked as well. I'm going to begin by adding 113 grams of active sourdough starter. I'm now adding 170 grams of filtered room temperature water. Giving it a quick stir just so that the sourdough starter and the water are blended together. To the mixture, I am adding 55 grams of sugar, a half a teaspoon of salt, 50 grams of room temperature butter. Here I am using Violife plant-based butter, but you can use any kind of butter you like. And the last ingredient is 350 grams of bread flour. I added this to the stand mixer with the dough hook, and now I'm going to begin to knead it. I'm sorry this shot is blurry. For some reason my camera wanted to focus on the cabinet door and not the mixer. It's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, everything came together nicely. Continue to knead this on low speed for another 5 to 7 minutes. Our dough looks ready. I'm now going to put a cover on it and let it sit overnight to raise, anywhere from 8 to 16 hours, depending on how cool your kitchen is. So it's been about 12 hours and it's 8 o'clock in the morning or so. I am going to get the dough out and roll it into balls and get it going for its second proof. As you can see here, I have my mat down. I have a pie dish that I like to bake them in. You can choose any kind of dish that you want to bake them in. I just like this pie dish because it allows them to raise beautifully and they're really easy to get out of the dish. Here I'm going to be using some organic coconut oil, very light coating to put on my pie dish, just so that the rolls don't stick. We're ready for the big reveal. The dough raised beautifully overnight, just sitting on the counter. And it was about 63 in the kitchen overnight. This next part, you absolutely do not have to get as picky as me when it comes to rolling these out into 8 dough balls. I like mine to be evenly sized. So what I'm going to do is lightly flour my scale and then put a little flour on my board. And I'm going to measure the dough, figure out what that is divided by 8, and then measure out 8 dough balls so that they are all the same size when they bake. Again, you can just eye it up. You do not have to get this picky. Let me show you how I'm going to roll these up. So what you're going to do is first take the sides and pull them into the center, as you can see me doing here. Then you're going to tighten up that center spot, put that down on the mat, and gently roll the dough ball. And the reason that I stretch it like I do and tuck it into the center is because I'm working on creating tension within each dough ball, and it allows you to have a much fuller, higher rise. and it comes out nice and puffy and round.
The dough balls are now ready for their second rise. I am going to cover them with a damp towel and let them sit in a warm spot to raise for anywhere between 3 hours and 6 hours, just depending on how warm of a spot it is. For me, it was actually a really cold day to be doing this, so I turned on my space heater, put it to low, put a hot pad that was really thick underneath it, and then put the rolls on top of that. They sat here for about 6 hours. It's been 6 hours, and look how puffy they are. I've preheated the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to place these in the preheated oven and let them bake for 25 minutes. It's been 25 minutes and they are ready to come out. I'm so excited. The coloring is beautiful. Now we just need to let them sit to cool down for about an hour before we eat them. I like to let them sit in the pie dish for about 5 minutes, and then I will take them out and put them on a cooling rack. They are light and fluffy and stretchy and tangy and a little chewy. They are just perfect. They really are. Thank you so much for joining me today at Witch Hollow Homesteading. I hope you found this video helpful and inspiring. If you have any questions or comments, you can comment below. Don't forget to also follow me on Instagram, where I post new reels several times a week with new recipes. Happy homesteading!